Welcome to the ISO 9001-2015 Lead Auditor Program by CDG Training. This course is designed to guide you through the essentials of quality management system auditing, where you'll learn to evaluate conformity, identify improvement opportunities, and assess the effectiveness of organizational processes. Quality is not achieved by chance. It is built through effective systems, consistent processes, and continual improvement. This program will immerse you in the professional world of quality management system auditing, equipping you with the skills to evaluate and improve organizational processes. In this course, you'll delve into ISO 9001-2015 requirements, audit planning, risk-based auditing, and more. Our focus is on developing a lead auditor mindset, plan objectively, evaluate evidence, and support continual improvement. Thank you for choosing CDG Training. Chapter 1. Quality Under the Microscope introduces a new approach to auditing. Using a case study format, you'll act as the lead auditor from the start, engaging with real-world scenarios to enhance your learning experience. As you begin your audit at Apex Manufacturing, impressive results are presented. However, your role as lead auditor is to verify these claims by asking for evidence behind the numbers. Never rely solely on management presentations for audit conclusions. Dive deeper into records, returns, and feedback to uncover the true story behind the numbers. Engage with the process owner to understand the workflow. Instead of asking about compliance, request a walkthrough of the process to gain deeper insights. For every process, build a mental picture of its components. This process canvas helps auditors explore inputs, activities, controls, and more, providing a comprehensive view of the process. By freezing the process, you can focus on specific elements within the quality management system. This technique allows for a detailed audit trail, enhancing your understanding of the process flow. Reverse the direction of your audit to ensure customer requirements are met throughout the process. This end-to-end auditing approach verifies that nothing is lost or misunderstood. Open 3 evidence windows to gather comprehensive insights. By asking, observing, and verifying, you create a robust foundation for your audit conclusions. Engage with operators to understand how specifications are managed. This dialogue can reveal crucial insights into document control and operational competence. Unexpected evidence can appear during audits. Investigate these anomalies to uncover deeper insights and ensure a thorough audit process. Customer requirements influence every process, even if the customer isn't physically present. Understanding this influence is crucial for effective auditing. Identify potential risks that could prevent processes from achieving their goals. This proactive approach ensures that risks are managed effectively within the organization. Monitor process performance through key indicators like yield, defect rate, and downtime. These metrics help determine if processes are achieving their intended results. The Quality Pulse chart visually represents the relationship between first-pass yield and customer complaints, providing insights into process effectiveness. Your audit wall collects evidence from various parts of the organization. Connect these pieces to uncover relationships, patterns, and inconsistencies. When evidence doesn't align, investigate further. Understanding the underlying data and context is key to resolving contradictions and ensuring accurate audit conclusions. Use the auditor's stoplight to guide your evidence collection. This mental decision system helps determine when additional sampling is needed or when evidence indicates a gap. Before concluding your audit, answer key questions to ensure a comprehensive understanding of the process and its outcomes. This reflection helps verify that you're auditing the system effectively. Your first lead auditor assignment involves analyzing evidence to determine the effectiveness of the quality management system. Decide where to investigate next based on the evidence provided. CDG Training emphasizes process journeys over isolated clauses. By asking the right questions, you can dive deeper into the ISO 9001 quality management system and achieve meaningful audit results. In this chapter, we delve into the ISO 9001 architecture, focusing on the QMS map. We explore the key areas, context, leadership, planning, and support, which are crucial for guiding the quality management system. Understanding the organization starts with exploring its environment. We look into internal and external issues, interested parties, the QMS scope, and key processes. This foundation is essential for future audits. Leadership is pivotal in driving decisions and actions. We investigate customer focus, responsibilities, quality policy, and management commitment. These elements are crucial for achieving quality results. Planning connects future risks with business actions. We explore risks and opportunities, quality objectives, and changes. Effective planning influences actual operations. Processes need appropriate support to function effectively. We audit areas like people and competence, infrastructure, and communication. The key question is whether the process has what it needs to perform effectively. Operations transform customer requirements into products and services. Following the process from customer request to verification provides evidence of meeting requirements consistently. Performance claims require evidence. We investigate process KPIs, customer satisfaction, and internal audits. When someone claims a process is performing well, we ask for proof. Select a quality problem and trace it. Determine if the organization fixed the immediate problem or addressed its cause. This process is crucial for continuous improvement. One problem can affect multiple clauses. For example, outdated instructions or lack of training can cross various areas. Observations can reveal weaknesses across processes. Trace a customer order across the QMS. From requirement to delivery, this single sample provides evidence across multiple ISO 9001 requirements. Follow a requirement horizontally through sales, engineering, purchasing, and production. This trace ensures alignment with specifications. The clause connection matrix helps follow evidence rather than clause numbers. It shows possible trails from customer complaints to missed objectives. Create a QMS navigation chart to visualize the flow from context to support. This chart aids in understanding the ISO 9001 operations in a linear management cycle. In the Auditor Navigation Challenge, follow evidence rather than clause numbers. This approach ensures a thorough understanding of the QMS. CDG training emphasizes navigating ISO 9001 through real processes rather than memorization. The key question is where the evidence leads next. Before diving into auditing procedures, it's crucial to understand the organization's workings and how they impact the Quality Management System, QMS. A lead auditor must explore the organization's purpose, business environment, and strategic direction. The first question to ask is, what factors could affect your ability to consistently meet customer requirements? External issues can significantly influence the QMS. Consider factors like market changes, technology, competition, regulatory environment, supply chain conditions, and economic factors. The auditor's role is to ensure these external issues are understood and considered within the QMS. Internal conditions are equally important in affecting quality performance. Key areas to consider include people, technology, infrastructure, knowledge, culture, process capability, and organizational changes. The auditor should connect these internal issues with actual QMS planning and operations. Organizations interact with various interested parties, such as customers, suppliers, owners, employees, regulators, and business partners. The key audit question is not just about listing these parties but understanding which requirements from them affect the QMS. To ensure a major customer requirement is met, follow the trail from customer requirement to contract review, production, identification, records, and delivery. This verifies whether an interested party requirement has entered the organization's processes. The QMS scope defines where the management system applies. The lead auditor should understand products and services, locations, functions, processes, and organizational boundaries. The scope should reflect the organization's actual activities and applicable ISO 9001 requirements. Imagine the QMS scope covers the manufacture and supply of precision components, but design activities are performed elsewhere. The auditor should investigate whether design is relevant to the organization's products and services and how responsibilities are determined. Never accept exclusions without justification. Once the scope is understood, map the QMS processes. Supporting processes may include HR, maintenance, calibration, document control, and more. Management processes like objectives, management review, and internal audit are crucial to the organization's process architecture. Processes rarely work independently. Purchasing affects production, which affects inspection, and so on. A lead auditor investigates whether process interfaces are clearly understood and controlled. Many quality problems occur between processes rather than inside one department. Select an important process and ask, who owns this process? Then explore its inputs, outputs, required resources, risks, and performance measures. A process owner should understand more than the procedure, they should understand process performance. Use SIPOC to quickly reference where a process begins, what it involves, and who is involved. For example, from approved supplier to customer. This helps in understanding the entire process flow and its components. Creating a flowchart helps determine whether content analysis influences the operating QMS. Consider business context, interested parties, relevant requirements, and processes. This ensures a comprehensive understanding of the QMS. An impressive process map is not enough. During interviews, discrepancies may arise, such as production describing a different workflow. The auditor should investigate whether the documented architecture reflects actual operations. A critical supplier suddenly closes, affecting supply risk, purchasing, production, delivery, and customer satisfaction. The lead auditor can investigate whether the organization recognized the change and adapted relevant QMS processes. CDG training emphasizes understanding context before beginning the audit journey. A lead auditor should connect context, interested parties, scope, processes, interactions, and performance. This ensures audits are focused, deeper, and more meaningful. ISO 9001 leadership is more than just signing a policy. It involves decisions, priorities, resources, customer focus, and accountability. A lead auditor seeks evidence of these in action. In the executive room, ask about current quality priorities, concerning processes, and recent decisions requiring management involvement. These questions reveal true understanding beyond policies. Quality should be integrated into business processes and strategic decisions. Follow business direction, quality priorities, objectives, processes, and results to ensure quality is part of planning. Top management must focus on meeting customer and applicable requirements. Investigate customer complaints, delivery performance, product conformity, returns, customer satisfaction, and requirements. Choose a significant customer complaint and trace it through investigation, process failure, corrective action, management awareness, and decision. This reveals if issues are visible to leadership. Instead of asking for the quality policy, determine if it provides a framework for the QMS and is understood. Ask employees how their work contributes to quality for meaningful insights. A quality policy is meaningful when it influences action. Look for connections between policy, objectives, department, control, and measurement to ensure practical application. A mature QMS distributes quality responsibilities across functions. Sales, purchasing, production, inspection, and management all play roles in ensuring quality. Understanding roles and authorities is crucial. Ask who owns processes, approves changes, responds to failures, and reports issues to ensure clarity and prevent delays. Leadership evidence can be found in management decisions, resource allocation, quality objectives, performance reviews, corrective actions, and customer initiatives. Look beyond interviews. Follow a management decision scenario from defect trend to customer risk. This turns a resource decision into a leadership audit trail, revealing the impact of decisions. The combo chart shows customer satisfaction and complaints over time. Analyze the trends to understand customer focus and areas needing improvement. When leadership claims differ from evidence, investigate unresolved complaints, declining performance, overdue actions, and rare customer trend reviews. Compare claims with evidence. Discover issues like increased complaints, delayed projects, and defects. Investigate customer data, process performance, management review, decisions, resources, and improvement for a comprehensive audit. CDG training emphasizes auditing leadership through actions and results. Leadership should integrate quality into everyday business decisions, making it a shared responsibility. Risk-based thinking is essential for anticipating uncertainty and integrating actions into QMS processes. A lead auditor should ask not just what went wrong, but what could prevent a process from achieving its intended result. Risk isn't confined to a register, it exists within processes. By examining areas like supplier delays or production issues, auditors can identify how risks are managed and what actions are taken to address them. Planning should address both risks and opportunities. For instance, while manual inspections may lead to inconsistencies, automated inspections can enhance consistency and data availability. A detailed risk register alone doesn't demonstrate effective risk-based thinking. It's crucial to follow an identified risk through its entire process to see if it influences real decisions. Quality objectives should translate priorities into measurable targets, such as reducing defects or improving delivery times, to provide meaningful direction. To assess if improvements are genuine, audit both forward and backward. This helps determine if changes were intentional or coincidental. Without clear responsibility, targets can become meaningless. Investigate who is responsible, what actions are planned, and how results will be evaluated. This chart illustrates defect reduction progress over time, showing a steady decline towards the target rate. If a target isn't met, investigate why. Review performance, actions taken, and whether resources or risks were reconsidered. Changes can introduce new risks. Consider how increased production might affect employee competence or product quality. When production increases, it can lead to unintended consequences like increased inspection workload or delays. Auditors should look beyond intended benefits to assess these impacts. A risk priority matrix helps identify which risks need immediate attention based on their likelihood and impact. Recognizing a risk is not enough. Actions must be taken. Compare identified risks with actual actions to ensure they are addressed. Auditors should connect changes, risks, and outcomes to prioritize audit trails based on significance and evidence, not just documents. CDG training emphasizes that risk-based thinking should be evident in decision-making and resource allocation, ensuring that objectives influence how the QMS operates. In this chapter, we explore the essential components of resources, competence, and organizational knowledge, focusing on how they contribute to achieving quality results. Resources must align with the quality management system's needs. Auditors may examine various aspects such as people, equipment, and financial support to ensure resource adequacy. A simple equipment issue can escalate into a broader quality management system problem. Follow the trail from equipment to customer impact to understand the full scope. Workplace conditions significantly affect process quality. Factors like temperature, humidity, and ergonomics must be managed to ensure optimal operations. When verifying conformity, auditors should ensure that measuring resources are suitable for their intended purpose. Trust in measurement results is crucial. Expired calibration can jeopardize product inspection. Investigate the calibration trail to ensure measurement validity and address any potential issues. Competence goes beyond training. It encompasses education, experience, and skills, ensuring individuals are truly capable of performing their roles effectively. Practical demonstration of competence often provides stronger evidence than certificates. Observing real-world application ensures true capability. Understanding how work impacts the quality management system and customer satisfaction is crucial. Encourage employees to think beyond formal statements. Organizational knowledge is vital for process operation. It includes technical specifications, work instructions, and more, ensuring knowledge is maintained and accessible. The retirement of an expert can. Effective communication ensures the right information reaches the right person at the right time and in the right form. A lead auditor investigates key questions about communication processes to prevent quality failures. When a customer change occurs, it's crucial to follow the information through each department to ensure everyone is updated. This prevents errors like incorrect production or customer complaints. Internal communication is vital for effective process operation. It includes sharing quality objectives, process changes, and corrective actions to ensure everyone is aligned. External communication involves parties outside the organization, such as suppliers and regulatory bodies. Clear communication prevents issues like incorrect material deliveries. Documents guide how work should be performed. A lead auditor checks if information is available, suitable, and controlled where needed. Tracking a document's journey from creation to control ensures it aligns with operational reality. This prevents discrepancies between documented and actual processes. Discovering an obsolete document during production requires investigation. It's crucial to check if it was used and how revisions were communicated to prevent quality issues. Quality records provide evidence of activities. The auditor ensures records are identifiable, protected, and retrievable to maintain quality control. Digital information carries risks like unauthorized changes and data loss. Auditors must ensure electronic quality information is protected and maintained. External documents, such as customer drawings and regulatory documents, need control to support the QMS. Proper identification and control are essential. A performance chart illustrates the effectiveness of document control areas, highlighting strengths and areas for improvement. A communication failure scenario demonstrates how a lack of information control can affect several processes, leading to non-conforming outputs. When auditing, compare the documented process, workplace use, and records. Alignment increases evidence, while conflicts expand the audit trail. Investigate red flags like different document versions and missing records. These indicate weaknesses in information control that need addressing. CDG training emphasizes that document control should not be audited as paperwork alone. Accurate information must reach the right people to demonstrate what happened. Every customer order begins with a promise. The organization must understand what the customer needs before accepting that promise. A lead auditor follows the complete journey to verify whether customer requirements are understood and consistently fulfilled. Customer requirements may arrive through various channels like purchase orders, emails, or direct communication. The auditor asks critical questions to ensure clarity, reducing the risk of errors later. Before accepting an order, the organization should determine if it can meet the applicable requirements. Consider product specifications, quantity, delivery date, quality requirements, and available capacity. Select one completed customer order and trace it through the entire process. This provides a strong end-to-end audit trail, comparing the original requirement with the final output. Imagine a customer requests specific requirements like 5,000 units or a special material grade. The organization must determine if these can be fulfilled, and the auditor verifies the evidence of that review. Sometimes customers do not provide complete specifications, leading to uncertainties. The organization may need to clarify these requirements before accepting the order. Communication continues after the order is accepted, involving product information, order updates, and requirement changes. The auditor checks whether important information reaches the appropriate people. A customer changes the product specification after production planning has started. The lead auditor verifies whether everyone received the correct updated requirement. The customer changed the tolerance from 0.10 mm to 0.05 mm. This creates an important audit trail involving communication, document control, and operational verification. Now compare what was promised with what was delivered. Verify customer requirements, production records, inspection results, release records, and delivery information. The chart should show how customer requirements move through the QMS from initial contact to final feedback. This simple flowchart illustrates the customer journey. A complaint can provide valuable insights. Follow the customer issue from complaint to resolution, ensuring requirements are met and not misinterpreted. Customer satisfaction should not be judged only from complaints. Organizations may use surveys, returns, feedback, and more to monitor and evaluate perceptions. The improving trend looks positive, but the auditor should verify how the data was collected and whether other evidence supports the result. CDG training believes customer-focused auditing should follow the complete promise made by the organization. The lead auditor keeps asking if the customer received what was agreed upon. In the journey from idea to approved design, we follow a structured path. This includes understanding needs, designing, reviewing, verifying, validating, and finally approving the output. The focus is on ensuring that design activities are planned, controlled, and capable of producing intended results. Before starting design work, it's crucial to establish responsibilities and controls. The auditor explores various aspects such as design stages, review activities, validation, responsibilities, verification, and resources. Planning should reflect the complexity and risks involved. The quality of design heavily relies on the quality of its inputs. These inputs may include customer requirements, functional requirements, performance requirements, applicable requirements, and previous design knowledge. The auditor checks if these inputs are adequately addressed. Imagine a scenario where a customer requires high strength but also significant weight reduction. This can create a design challenge. Organizations must identify and address conflicting or unclear inputs before proceeding. The auditor investigates how such conflicts were resolved and documented. Design should not move directly from concept to production. Appropriate controls help determine if the developing solution meets requirements. The lead auditor may examine reviews, verification activities, validation activities, identified problems, and actions taken. Design reviews are essential to evaluate progress and identify potential problems. Key questions include whether appropriate people were involved, problems identified, actions assigned, and results retained. A review should provide meaningful control, not just a signature on a form. Verification ensures that design outputs satisfy the design inputs. For example, verifying that the final drawing and technical specifications incorporate the required dimensions. The auditor examines the evidence of verification. Validation checks if the resulting product or service meets its intended application or use. This may involve prototype testing, field testing, performance testing, and user evaluation. The auditor should understand how validation is performed and what evidence supports the result. Design outputs should provide suitable information for subsequent processes. Examples include drawings, specifications, acceptance criteria, material requirements, and production instructions. The auditor can trace an output directly into purchasing, production, or inspection. Select one approved drawing and follow it through engineering, document control, production, and inspection. Verify whether production and inspection are using the same approved revision. This simple trail can expose communication and change control problems. Design changes can occur due to customer requests, testing results, supplier changes, production problems, or improvement opportunities. A lead auditor examines whether relevant changes are reviewed and controlled before implementation. A component design is revised, but purchasing continues ordering using the old specification. This can lead to a chain of problems, including design change, communication issues, purchasing errors, supplier problems, and production risks. Uncontrolled change can affect several QMS processes. The design development flowchart helps create a simple flow from customer need to design inputs, development, and design review. The auditor can use this journey to identify where evidence should exist throughout the design process. A company launches a redesigned product, but records show incomplete reviews and validations. The auditor must determine what should be required to ensure effectiveness. Completed records alone do not demonstrate that the design process was effective. CDG training emphasizes that design auditing should follow the product or service from initial requirement to real-world performance. A lead auditor should determine whether inputs were understood, reviews were meaningful, verification confirmed requirements, validation demonstrated intended use, and changes remained controlled. The key question is whether the design was controlled before reaching the customer. Quality doesn't stop at your factory's doors. Suppliers and external providers can directly impact your product's quality. A lead auditor ensures that your organization meets requirements by examining externally provided products, processes, and services. Supplier approval is crucial and should align with your organization's requirements. The auditor examines capability, quality performance, technical competence, delivery performance, and previous experience to answer, why was this supplier approved? Trace a single purchase order to ensure clarity in requirements, supplier details, and delivery quality. Check if the purchasing information communicated what the organization required. Suppliers need clear requirements to meet organizational needs. Define product specifications, quantity, material grade, acceptance criteria, and delivery requirements to ensure clarity. After receiving materials, verification is essential. This could involve inspection, testing, or documentation review. The auditor asks, how do you know the received material meets requirements? New suppliers can change the control dynamics. Consider product impact, required controls, supplier risk, and verification to ensure ongoing effectiveness. Approval isn't enough if performance falters. Monitor supplier performance for late deliveries, repeated defects, incorrect documentation, and customer-related problems. Supplier scorecards provide a quick view of quality performance. Compare scores to assess supplier reliability and quality. Outsourcing doesn't mean losing control. Activities like machining, calibration, heat treatment, transportation, and testing must still be controlled to ensure quality. When outsourcing processes like heat treatment, trace requirements, supplier selection, external processing, certification, and verification to ensure quality. Supplier changes can impact quality. Consider how changes affect capability, product conformity, and approval status. The lead auditor investigates these changes. A defect trail can reveal weaknesses in supplier monitoring. Follow the trail from defect to supplier performance to identify issues. Monitor supplier performance trends to identify issues early. A decreasing defect rate indicates improvement over time. Auditors face challenges when suppliers show mixed performance. Verify criteria, defect history, and corrective actions to ensure reliability. CDG training emphasizes connecting supplier auditing with product and customer risk. A lead auditor ensures requirements are met from supplier to operations. Production and service delivery are where customer requirements become actual outputs. A lead auditor moves beyond procedures and observes the real process, focusing on requirements, resources, production, verification, and release. The key question is whether the process operates under controlled conditions. Begin by selecting a workstation and observing the work. Check if employees have access to correct instructions, suitable equipment, required materials, acceptance criteria, and monitoring resources. Compare actual practice with established process requirements. Select one production batch and trace it through material, production order, processing, inspection, release, and delivery. This allows the auditor to verify whether controls remain effective throughout the production journey. Controlled production depends on several factors, including suitable infrastructure, competent personnel, process instructions, monitoring equipment, and defined acceptance criteria. The auditor determines whether these controls support consistent product or service conformity. Organizations need to identify outputs and maintain traceability where required. A lead auditor can select one finished product and trace it through product ID, batch, production record, material, inspection, and release. Pick a finished product without warning and ask which batch produced it. Then trace backward to materials, production information, and inspection evidence. A system that works only for carefully selected examples may require deeper sampling. Organizations may handle property belonging to customers or external providers, such as materials, equipment, tools, drawings, and data. The auditor examines how relevant property is identified, protected, and managed under organizational control. Product conformity can be lost after production. Preservation may involve handling, packaging, storage, protection, and transportation. The auditor follows the product beyond the production line to determine whether conformity is maintained. Some process results cannot be fully verified through later inspection alone. Examples may include welding, heat treatment, or other processes where appropriate process validation is important. The auditor investigates relevant controls such as qualified personnel, approved methods, suitable equipment, and process parameters. Imagine production changes a machine setting to increase output. The product still appears acceptable, but was the change appropriately reviewed and controlled? Follow the steps of change: authorization, risk, process setting, verification, and result. Uncontrolled changes can introduce hidden quality risks. Products and services should not be released until applicable planned arrangements have been satisfactorily completed, unless otherwise appropriately approved. The auditor may verify inspection results, acceptance criteria, release authorization, and traceability. Ask who has authority to release this product. If you discover a rejected product near the production line, follow the steps of detection, identification, control, decision, correction, disposition, and re-verification. The objective is to prevent unintended use or delivery of non-conforming output. The production quality chart shows a simple line graph tracking first pass yield from January to May, with a target of 95%. During your audit, you discover an operator using an old instruction, a machine setting changed without documented approval, and 2 rejected products outside the segregation area. Management says production quality is still above 98%. The KPI does not remove the observations. Follow each issue until sufficient objective evidence supports your conclusion. CDG Training believes production auditing should happen where the work actually occurs. Observe employees, select real products, trace batches, examine process controls, verify release decisions, and follow non-conforming outputs. The essential question is whether the organization can consistently turn customer requirements into conforming products or services under controlled conditions. A quality management system, QMS, generates vital information daily. The lead auditor's role is to analyze this data to identify what's working and what needs attention. Key evidence includes quality KPIs, defect trends, delivery performance, customer feedback, and process results. The central question is, how does management know the QMS is performing effectively? Organizations must determine what to monitor and measure to evaluate QMS performance effectively. Examples include first pass yield, rework, scrap, on-time delivery, supplier performance, and customer complaints. The auditor ensures these measures provide meaningful insights into process performance. Management reports, like on-time delivery at 97%, require deeper analysis. A lead auditor should ask, how is it calculated? Which orders are included? What period does it cover? Who verifies the data? Are delayed orders excluded? Strong-looking numbers still need reliable supporting evidence. A single result offers limited insight. Trends provide more context. For instance, observe how product rejection rates change from January to April. The lead auditor should investigate why performance is deteriorating and what actions have been taken. Customer satisfaction is crucial for understanding QMS performance. Evidence includes customer surveys, complaints, repeat business, returns, warranty claims, and customer ratings. The auditor examines how the organization monitors and uses customer perceptions. Collecting data is only valuable if it's evaluated. Organizations should use relevant information to understand matters like product conformity, customer satisfaction, process performance, supplier performance, and improvement needs. The auditor looks for evidence that analysis leads to meaningful decisions. Internal audits offer a chance for organizations to evaluate their QMS. A lead auditor can examine the audit program, audit scope, audit criteria, auditor selection, audit results, and follow-up. Internal auditing should provide useful information about QMS conformity and implementation. Not every process needs the same level of audit attention. Audit program planning can consider process importance, changes, previous audit results, performance problems, and customer issues. Higher risk processes may deserve greater attention. Internal auditors should conduct audits with objectivity and impartiality. Key questions include: who audited the process? What responsibility do they have for it? How was objectivity maintained? An auditor reviewing their own work can weaken confidence in the audit process. To trace an internal audit finding, follow these steps: finding, evidence, correction, root cause, corrective action, and verification. This helps determine whether the audit program contributes to improvement rather than just producing reports. Top management should periodically review the QMS to evaluate its suitability, adequacy, effectiveness, and alignment with organizational direction. Relevant information includes performance trends, customer satisfaction, audit results, and more. The auditor looks beyond meeting minutes to determine if management review drives decisions. Suppose management review identifies increasing customer complaints. Management approves actions like new inspection equipment, additional training, and process improvement projects. The lead auditor can trace the decision, action, and result to ensure real action follows the review. A performance trend chart can provide a clear visual of changes over time. For example, tracking on-time delivery percentages from Q1 to Q4 shows a steady increase. This visual representation helps in understanding performance improvements. Management reports may show high satisfaction in delivery rates, but deeper investigation reveals issues like increasing customer complaints and rework. It's crucial to ensure the QMS performance story is consistent across different evidence sources. CDG training emphasizes that performance evaluation is more than just producing dashboards. A strong lead auditor follows a complete cycle: data, analysis, audit, management review, decision, action, and result. The essential question is whether the organization uses reliable performance information to improve the quality management system. A customer reports receiving a product with the wrong specification, prompting an immediate investigation. The journey to resolve this issue involves understanding the failure, gathering evidence, controlling the situation, identifying the cause, taking action, and ensuring effectiveness. When a non-conforming output is identified, it's crucial to secure it to prevent unintended use. The auditor investigates how it was identified, where it was controlled, who made the decision, and what happened to the product. Start with the actual output, not the corrective action plan. To trace the failure backward, select one rejected product and work backward through the process. This helps determine where conformity was lost, opening several quality management system processes for investigation. Correcting an error, like replacing an incorrect label, doesn't address the underlying issue. Corrective action should focus on the cause of the nonconformity to prevent recurrence. The investigation report may cite human error, but a deeper look is needed. Questions about clarity, training, and workload can reveal underlying issues that human error alone doesn't explain. The 5 Why investigation digs deeper into problems like a wrong component installation. By asking why repeatedly, the investigation moves from operator error to change control weakness. One failure might not be isolated. Investigate other workstations, similar products, and shifts to understand the extent and prevent narrow conclusions. If the root cause is poor component identification, retraining might not be enough. A more appropriate response could involve improved identification and stronger verification. Corrective action should address the identified cause, not just the person involved. A repeat failure test is crucial when a similar nonconformity reoccurs. The auditor should investigate whether the original cause analysis and effectiveness evaluation were adequate. A simple line graph can show if actions worked, but auditors should also check production volume, sampling methods, and related complaints to ensure the same failure hasn't appeared elsewhere. Completing procedures, training, and label installations doesn't mean effectiveness. Verify if employees use new controls, recurrence is reduced, and outputs conform. Certain pattern. Your audit team enters the organization, ready to transition from planning to leading the audit process. The opening meeting is crucial for setting a professional tone. Confirm key elements like objectives, scope, and schedule to ensure clarity. Management reports reveal high customer satisfaction but rising complaints. Use these insights to delve deeper into the quality management system. Trace a recent customer complaint through interconnected processes to uncover root causes and improve systems. Observe the actual work environment to compare documented processes with real-world practices. Use the Ask, Show, Verify method to convert conversations into objective audit evidence, ensuring clarity and accuracy. During the factory walk, unexpected discoveries can lead to new insights. Investigate thoroughly to understand the implications. Expand your sample size when evidence suggests broader issues, ensuring a comprehensive audit. Test the system's traceability by selecting products randomly, revealing how well processes work under normal conditions. Connect individual audit observations to form a comprehensive understanding of the system's performance. Control the audit clock by focusing on key areas like leadership and customer processes to ensure a thorough audit. Before concluding a nonconformity, verify the evidence and understand the full extent of the issue. When faced with challenging conversations, remain calm and evidence-focused to maintain professionalism. Conduct a final team review to ensure all findings are defensible and conclusions are clear. CDG training emphasizes the importance of observing processes, following evidence, and connecting systems for a successful audit. The audit is nearing completion, and your team has gathered extensive evidence through interviews, observations, and evaluations. Now, the crucial task is to determine the effectiveness of the quality management system. To build a comprehensive evidence wall, gather insights from customer orders, employee interviews, and more. This interconnected system reveals how different elements impact each other. Distinguish between opinions and facts. While opinions may be subjective, facts are based on verifiable evidence. This distinction is crucial for accurate audit conclusions. Challenge every finding by questioning its requirements, evidence, and sufficiency. This rigorous process ensures that only defensible findings are accepted. Look beyond individual issues to identify systemic problems. A single symptom might indicate a deeper, interconnected issue within the system. Not every observation becomes a finding. Use a decision path to determine if evidence is sufficient and requirements are met before making a conclusion. Ensure findings are clear and understandable, even months later. A strong finding is based on specific evidence and remains relevant over time. During the final review, focus on evidence rather than emotions. Address each requirement and evidence point methodically to ensure a comprehensive audit. The closing meeting is a pivotal moment where the audit's findings are communicated clearly and professionally. It's the culmination of the audit process. A nonconformity is just the beginning. The focus shifts to response and improvement, with the organization taking ownership of the solution. Closure requires evidence that actions taken are effective. Ensure that all documentation supports the effectiveness of corrective measures. A lead auditor's competence extends beyond knowledge. It involves a blend of technical understanding, investigation, and leadership skills. In the final challenge, resolve inconsistencies and ensure the audit report reflects a complete and accurate picture of the findings. The lead auditor journey involves understanding the entire QMS, from customer needs to risk management and resource allocation. CDG training emphasizes the importance of following evidence, understanding systems, and defending conclusions with integrity. Achieve professional certification with CDG training and enhance your audit skills through a structured learning journey.